Welcome back to Integration Ninjas. In today's video, we are diving into application monitoring in Java with New Relic. Observability has become a must-have for modern applications. It's not just about whether your app runs, but how it performs in real time. That's where APM application performance monitoring comes in. It helps developers track key metrics like response time, throughput, and error rates, giving deep insights into how every part of the application behaves in production. New Relic is one of the most powerful observability platforms out there. It helps you monitor, debug, and optimize your application across services, infrastructure, and user experience all in one place. In this video, we will integrate New Relic into a real Java application, capture some metrics, and then visualize that data using NRQL and their dashboards. Let's get started and see how easily we can bring observability into our Java applications. So this is the New Relic website, and here we can click on just get started free. So it provides some of the usage free. So we can see like they provides up to 100 GB of data ingestion monthly. Like you can add 100 GB of worth of data like logs and custom metrics in New Relic system. That's all about free, and one free user with access to everything. Nothing is required. So simply you can create an account. I already have one, so I will just click on login here into the system, and I will just use my Google account for that. It's pretty simple. You can also use. Now for this demo, I will go to the APM and services. This is the APM and services where we will just click create a service or application. We have to add this data first. So let me just add data, add app or service. So this is one integration and agent. So our application is mostly on Java for this tutorial, but we can select any other if we see Node.js and PHP and .NET and Python, Kubernetes, React systems as well. So we'll start with Java first, and then we can click on Maven for now. And here we have to create the license key. Now what is the license key? That you can just create it right here. So they will provide some license key to ingest some data into the system. So for that we need license key. You can simply create that from here. Let's say this one, and here we can click on API keys and we can create some API keys. I already will have, but let me just create a new one for this demo tutorials, which I can delete later. So I have this key here, copy key. I will just copy key here just for this tutorial, and let me just delete, and then we can you copy this. We won't show it again. Okay, that's fine. Use an existing key. I already have, so I can use that, but let me create that new also. I can also copy this also. So the user key always starts with NRAK, and the license key will be something like hash or encoded value. So now click on continue and tell about your system. Let's say Linux for now, whether it's Mac, but the steps is going to be same. So these are the steps, but we'll do it manually, but I want to show you the process. So what we can do, like it just providing the Java installation, other steps. Let me just add Spring Boot, continue. So this is the dependency we have to add in our system. So all the steps we have to do manually, but we'll just follow the steps, so in the case we don't miss anything here. And we have to download the Java agent also from the New Relic. Let me just add this dependency first into our application. So this is the dependency. What is the Java agent version they have? I think it's 8.24.0, which we can use. Okay, I think I already have this data. No, let me just download this agent version. New Relic java.zip. I think that's fine. I'll just download this and I'm gonna use this version. Let me just update this to 8.24.0 to 4.0, and let me just refresh my dependencies. Okay, I just remove this. Okay, I think it's downloaded. We can copy this and paste it right here. Okay, so I have added this. Now I think I need to extract this also. Let me just do it. Okay, allow. So I'm just unzipping this, so you can also do this. Now if we unzip this, there will be a new relic folder will be created where will be have multiple files, so we'll see those things. Now like whatever the steps are there, I'm just going to follow manually. I'm not going to follow these things. So these are like a unzip package, like after downloading and other things. So I'll just keep it like this. I am not going to follow anything here. So this was for tutorial purpose. So here if we see, this is the license key. Now we have to update this new relic.yml file. This is the main important step after doing all those things. So let me just go to this new relic.yml, where we have to provide the license key which we have created, right? So we have created the license key here. So let me just go here. I have just updated the license key. Okay, and what else I need to update is the app name. Whatever the application that should be created, we can just mention Java test app. Okay, Java test app, let's say. And then in the down here also we have to update these things, the application name. Then that's it. We just need the ingestion key, and we have to update the application name. Rest of the things you can update based on your requirements. You have to just go to this file and other things, and this application.yml file. I'm not just adding this, may be due to the version of the Java agent does not be the updated one. That's why I'm not doing this. And let's say here also we can update the same name, right? So let's continue. And this is like they are mentioning like this, you can add while running your application java-jar application-jar, and then this is the path, and we have to provide this. So we have to, while you can simply configure your main file here, Java Spring Boot application, you can edit the run configuration, and you can provide the path. So I have already provided a VM option here, so you can click on the VM option. This is the path we have to enter, where we are providing the new relic.jar path, right? So here if you see Java agent, and then this one, the path of the new relic.jar. New relic.jar is present in this new relic directory, this one. This is the jar file for this new relic Java agent. Now that's it. Now what we have to do for ingesting the data, right? That is the important thing. Now, so for ingesting the data, we have things like this is our application. Let me just give the application overview. It has some APIs, like all these APIs. It just create order, get all orders, get order by update ID. It has just CRUD operations, nothing else. So it's just order service. Now let's say I want to know, like I want to capture some metrics. Now even if I start the application, I will start receiving the traffic. Okay, let's see this behavior first. So I have started my application, right? So even I have not finished the tabs, all are optional tabs, I will still be able to see the application created here. Let's verify that also. we can see this Java test step, right? So these are just the providing the configuration steps, what you need to do, what you don't need to do, and we can test the connection, but we have already done all those steps, so it's not required. So here if we see, they provide us good amount of metrics and other details like the web transaction time. They have the some dashboard, apdex score, throughput of our application, which is important, and how many errors we are receiving in our application. This is the some graph. Okay, there are too many things. Now how we'll see the data is coming or not? Let's try to generate some traffic, right? So this is some post API. Let me just send the request. Okay, this is done. Okay, now let me change the name. Okay, two records we have created, right? And let's me hit some get endpoints and see if all these details are present. Yes, it is present. Now we'll see if we can see all this data here in the real time in our application here. Okay, so this is the web transaction time. Let's see what this data is about. We can see this transaction data here in the real time. If we see the transaction tables here, this is the NRQL. It's a new Relic query language. It's very similar to SQL, where we can see the data from transaction table. So in the transaction table we can see all those data coming in. So we can see all these details which is coming here. This is the post APIs we have hit on the system, and one is get endpoint, right? So it has all those details. What are the request URI, the method was get and post we have executed, and this is the like response content type, total time taken by this API. We can see here also 896. Here also I think it's in milliseconds, so it's fine. Yeah, it's also in millisecond, but it's in seconds maybe. And all this like transaction subtype and what other things we can track, like this is the host name. It tracks also the host name details also, like who is the host of the system, like where we are trying to, where they hit the APIs. This is the entity GUIDs are some of the internal mappings which we can see here. I think if we just minimize this tab, and we can see some of the entity GUIDs here, which should be pretty similar, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Now we have enough details, right? What we can do with this? Now we can add some customized metrics also, and we can see some spike here as well, right? So this is the response time, like I think this is the web transaction time and other things. So this query also we can see like they are checking the average duration and the response time of our application from the metric table, where this is the entity GUID, and with some internal they have some mapping things, right? Now let me do one thing. Let me add some custom metrics, like in the transaction table, if I want to add one more field, right? Where we have seen the transaction table, right? This is our transaction table. I want to add some field here, additional field. I want to see the details, right? Let me just add that in the get all or create order. Okay, we'll simply add trace not present. I think xml is there, scope is provided, right? And we can see, okay, it seems like the new Relic library itself is not yet loaded into the system, right? Let me do a clean build of the project. And let me again try new relic. No, still we can't see the new relic. This library here is a new relic Java, and the agent is new relic Java agent or something. No, wait, I have already this code. If we are missing something in the pom.xml, okay, it should be new relic API, not the Java new relic API, and I think this is fine, and we don't need to provide since we have provided. That's why I preferred the manual step, like they have provided the. For that we had to add the plugin also for unzip. That's why it was not working. Now we will be able to see the new relic related details here into our system, and we have refreshed the dependencies here. Now here on the create table, now we can see the new relic related this methods and other things. Here we will add dispatcher is equal to true. It will allow us the, like, this is the transaction entry point for the system. And here I want to add some custom metrics, right? Let's say I can add like what is the transaction status, right? Okay. We can do that. We can do like that, new relic dot add, and this is the custom parameter and record metrics. Here in the record metric we'll just add the name, order status, and what we can do is order status is order dot get status. Okay, it should be float value. Hmm. It should be order dot get status. Why it's not working? Order dot get quantity is working here. Get status. So this is working. Yeah, this is working. Add custom parameters. So this is like keep it to current transaction. Yeah, this is the correct method. This is in the transaction traces and the transaction events. Let's try this out. Let me just restart the application. Okay, now we'll try to again hit order. Okay, let me just mention SP here and order status pending, let it be, and we'll try to see if the transaction is coming in the details or not. Transaction, we can see if our data is there or not. Yeah, we can see this order status field is created with this particular parameter that we have added. We were adding the wrong one. So this is the one, add custom parameter order status, and same we can add. There is one more table, like which is the main table, like matrix table, where they have the enough information. If you want, you can add any other information like which is useful for tracking the request and other things, right? So there are multiple things you can do with this. Now let's say I want to try, this is the like header host. So all these things we can try here. Now I want to explain one more thing, which is one more table actually. uh, metric table, right? From metric we can just simply do a select star here. No, nothing is there. From, okay, I think it's metrics. Yes. mm, Nothing is there, but it was there, I guess. From metric, no chart data available. Okay, that's fine. So now we can see clear spikes here, but still we should be able to see the metric related details. Let me just again query. Yeah, we are right here. Maybe there was some mistake. Now we can see there are some metric related information which we can see here, which is providing the sufficient details like the current value, the consumption limit also they provide, like what are the consumption resource consumption limit we have, and there are a lot of other things. If we want, we can add these details right here in metrics as well. So for that also, I think we have field here, new relic dot record metric is for that. Record metric is for that. Now here we have to uh, enter it like that. We can just simply Google it, how to add. Anyways, we have this Java agent library page here which we can simply see and we can use for ingesting the data into our system, right? We have to explore this page, how to add custom metrics in New Relic with Java agent. So this is one custom slash, yeah, this is correct. So custom slash order status we will write, custom slash order status we can write, and that will provide us the correct information here, I guess. Order dot get status or order dot get id. I think like we have to just provide some numeric value for that. This method several loads to accumulate different type of metrics, right? For a classic, for a basic count or value, so we have to provide some counters or anything. If you want to add, we can just simply add those details, right? So it's used for that purpose here, I think. I'm not very sure here. So simply we can just record some metrics here, custom slash order time or any other details. So let me just do some random thing, custom slash order id, and we will do a order id. We'll try to see that result also in the New Relic system. And one more thing we can do is, if there are some errors, we can track those as well, right? So here we have one more method, new relic dot notice error, where we can just provide what is the error, so that also we can log. So what error we have is, it can be anything, right? If we are throwing some error, let's say here, right, we'll write the same here, order not found with id this one. Let me just restart the application and see all those behaviors. Okay, all right. Now again, we don't have any records. Let me just create a new one, sp1 here, and let me just click on send here, and I have just created record. And let me hit this API orders slash 10 random id. we don't have that internal server error, order not found with this one. Now we will see two things. We should have two things. One is custom metrics and one is error, right? So where we can see those metrics here, we have to go to the data explorer to see the custom metrics. We have to go to the time slices, and then we can simply search here, uh, custom, mm, we can go to metrics first and can go to time slices, and here we have to go to the metrics. Custom, last 5 minutes, let me see. Yeah, this is our custom order ID. We can see here, right? We can't like directly see this, but we can just query those data here. Let's say I want to see average of this, and we can see some custom order ID. This is not the correct information, so you can, as it mentioned, like what you can add here is some meaningful data like elapsed process time. If you want to track some time or some other metrics, right, then it's useful, right? So that's why the custom metrics are useful. Like generally metrics information will show you like what are the your system is doing, performance and other things, duration, the response time, throughput. It will calculate all those details, so you can add some meaningful details that will be useful for tracking those information, and you can create dashboards on top of that. Now there was one more thing that we have seen, transaction tables. So transaction here is, there is also one more table which we will see here right now. So here we seen one table, right? We just logged one error that there was one message that order got failed with this ID. So we'll try to see if this is present. Yeah, we can see this is present here in the error message, right? So we have logged this error also. Based on that, we can enable some alerts and other things that we are going to see later. Now I want to show you a couple of things that you can do some experiments with these queries. Okay, so let's go to the transaction table here, and I want to just there is a group by in the SQL. Similar, there is a facet keyword which we can use for group by some statements. Let's say I want to do some based on the request method which we want to see. Okay, for that also we need to do count star, right? So this is the some, like it's similar to SQL, you can see. So it's just a group by like how many post APIs we have hit in the last. So by default it gives 1 hour data. So you can see like since 5 minutes ago, so you can query like that also. 5 minutes we have just hit this much request, and how much I hit in 25 minutes. It will show that data like 4 2. And now if you want to see a good thing, there are few options like how you want to visualize this data, right? So that you can put in dashboard. So this is bar chart. It's a good bar chart, good visualization. And this is billboard. It gives give amount of representation, like these are your post APIs and these are your get APIs you have hit in this much amount of time. And here we have some JSON values also which we can use somewhere if required. And here it's good thing, pie chart. This is really good, right? Post, get and other APIs, like whatever we have hit into our system in the transaction, all details we can see and visualize better right here. And what else? Nothing. Now there is one more thing, time series, which will give data like in what time, like what are the spikes and other things. That details also we can see. So around this time 122 I have just hit this request, 130 I hit this request, 136 I have hit this request. This is pretty good, right? This gives, and where we have stack bar also, like get and post in the same amount of time. This is pretty good for your visualization. This how you will do the performance monitoring, right? This will give you enough information. That's how you can monitor your Java application real time using New Relic APM. With just a simple setup, you can capture custom metrics, trace API performance, and visualize everything from latency to error rates all in one place. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the more integration deep dives from Integration Ninjas. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one where we'll be exploring more about the dashboards and the error alerts. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.